Hello and welcome to another video. I am here to share this amazing game with you all. I have been playing for a decent amount. This is Banners and Bastions, made by Not Suspicious, and their previous game that a lot of people might know of is Airspace Defender. I made a video on that. You can check that out as well. That was my favorite tabletop game, and then this is probably also my favorite, I guess another favorite tabletop game now. This is more of like a passive tower defense, not super passive, like you still have to do stuff, but more of a chill game, whereas Airspace Defender was more, you gotta be super active and always be pinching and doing something. This one you can kind of just sit back and watch each wave after you set it up. And it's got like levels, you can kind of chill in between levels and stuff like that. So this game, while it is basically the same setup, you can see the dome. It is generally a mixed reality game. I'm not in mixed reality, as you can see. I'm in their virtual space, which is just a gray background. I think eventually they'll add like a castle background. That would be freaking awesome. But for the time being, the game is basically made for mixed reality. I only ever play in mixed reality. I'm just not recording it in mixed reality. But it's great for if you're kind of just like passively doing something at your house, or you kind of just want to be aware of something while also playing the game at the same time. Mixed reality, these types of games it's amazing for. And so yeah, I love it. And I'll kind of get into what I've got here. So I played the beta when it was an open beta. I'm pretty sure. I think you just had to click a link and then you were in the beta. So I joined that, tested out, and they did like a little competition where top 50 players on the leaderboard, which this is a different leaderboard, but the beta leaderboard, top 50 would get the game for free and get like a little badge in the Discord. So I got that. That was awesome. And for everyone else who did, awesome stuff. But yeah, so now it is in the pre-release stage, I guess. Technically, when this video is releasing, it will be on the App Store, available to the public, but it is not technically the full release yet. So yeah, there's still some things that are probably going to be improved, and I mean, right now it's basically an amazing product. Even if it wasn't going to be continually developed, it is awesome as is. But yeah, I'll kind of show what's going on here. First is my settings. I like to have slightly different settings. And by the way, if you don't want to hear me ramble on about all this stuff, I will put timestamps in the description below. You can just skip ahead to whatever timestamp you want. But yeah, so for the settings, I like to go to my settings here. I have this on default. I don't have to go to my settings every time. But just to show you, I use this thing called, I go into advanced here, and then I scroll down all the way. Oh, actually, I think I scroll down all the way. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, use apps while lying down. I'm not lying down. Technically, I could lie down and play this game. That would be kind of cool. Never done that. But I use apps while not lying down so that I can play at a 45-degree angle instead of flat. And so yeah, basically I just check that checkbox there, and then I'm able to use apps while lying down. So pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel out that, go right back into the game here. So yeah, what we got here, this is using the apps lying down thing. These are my hands at like level with the floor, and then the game is this 45-degree angle as opposed to level. And so it just helps me so I don't have to tilt my head down a ton to look at stuff. I do have to tilt my head down in the recording just to see this stuff, but generally I can still see the stuff down there even without looking down there. In the actual headset, recording just doesn't pick it up. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show some things. I guess I'll first start with the settings, and then I'll go into the actual game. I'll just do one level. But yeah, so you got settings here. You can either do pass through, and it's really cool. You can't accidentally click buttons because you have to hold them down. So I can't accidentally go out of pass through unless I don't know, I guess I held my hand there for a little bit, but you can turn off the sound effects, the music, reset your progress, which I don't even know why that's so easy to do. I mean, it's not easy because you'd have to hold it down again, but I hope there's like a confirmation after that because I don't want my progress to be reset. But there's that. You've got all the cards, which you're not going to have all these cards when you start off. You're going to start with the top 3, the swordsman, archer, tower. By the way, you can pick them up and look inside of them. It's pretty awesome. It doesn't hand track very well close to my head, but yeah, that's really neat stuff, and you can kind of like see behind it, but well, see into it. It's like a little portal into the tiny reality. But yeah, so you start with these three cards up here. I don't know why it's hovering over those, but these 3, swordsman, archer, and tower. Then you eventually unlock spearman, wall, heal, knight, thorns, catapult, tower, form, and ranger. And I will basically not be using any of the top cards. For my round, I'll just use the bottom ones. And I do recommend, once you're able to get these, that's probably the way to go, just to get these 4 cards here, if you can afford to do it. But sometimes you kind of have to use other cards, and you'll see in the gameplay. But I think eventually they're going to add new cards too. By the way, like the catapult tower, this wasn't in the beta. And the farm, for example, was only 4 gold. Now it's 5 gold because you're able to stack up farms so easily. And it just made the game kind of, yeah, easy. But yeah, there's that. Let me go ahead and show off the, didn't want to do that. I did want to kind of show. Those were the cards. That was the settings. This was upgrades. So yeah, upgrades here. You've got a bunch of different paths, kind of like an RPG or like an MMO path thing. I guess I don't know all the jargon for this kind of stuff, but it's upgrades. So you can generally upgrade whatever you want. I think these upgrades start at 1 star, and the stars you get from completing levels, and the more levels you complete, the more you can unlock. Obviously, I have all of the stars. I've gotten 117 stars, and that's each level you can get up to 3 stars. So whatever that is, I think like 40. I think I've done about 40 rounds is what that comes out to. But yeah, so you can see I still have stars left over because I've already maxed it all out. But they added new stuff since the beta. They now have some of these top skills up here, which I don't have to get into those because when you start the game, it'll just gradually get you into all of the things and get you to understand what's going on, which I think the way that they do that is basically perfect. But and I'm sure there will be playthroughs of the tutorial coming out, so I'm not going to specifically do that. I'll kind of get into more high level gameplay if you want to see what it's like. If you don't want to see what that's like and you just want to get there yourself, don't watch it. Just watch somebody else's video. But I'm going to go ahead and start. This is the current map that I'm on, which I think it's all randomly generated. I don't know everything, all the exact details of how this game works, but I think the rounds and the worlds are randomly generated to a certain extent. And I think a certain extent, some things are set and similar or the same with other people. I don't know exactly how that works. But yeah, basically once it does get, I think, randomly generated, then it's the same for you every time. But I'm going to go ahead back to the first. And again, I love this, like, that you have to hold down stuff. It's just, it makes it so you don't accidentally click stuff, and it's a good choice of UX. But this is also a new thing. This skull here, it means that there's a boss battle. That wasn't in the beta, so here we are. We're going to do a boss battle, which comes out on the last round of that level, and there's a boss in each map at the last level of each. I think they're called worlds, but yeah, last level of each world, you get a boss, and kind of just work your way up to that. So, that being said, if the people have skipped ahead, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and start this Prinworth, the last level of my first world, which the names might even be randomly generated. I don't know for sure. And also, I'm getting a little bit of lag, I think, because I'm recording at 60 FPS. It probably looks fine to you, but I think that's one of the awesome things about this game, too. You don't need the exact, precise placements for the most part. And so if you skip a frame or something like that, it's not going to screw you up like it might in Airspace Defender. So I can kind of afford to have a higher quality recording for a little bit less performance in the game. But I'm going to go ahead and choose nothing for my first round. And so this is kind of just like a strat that I do. Because you don't have everything upgraded, if you're new to the game, you probably don't want to do exactly what I'm doing, but you can attempt what I'm doing. I think it generally works the same. I do think they made the game a little harder after the update, so the way that I went through the first levels probably aren't the exact ways that you can go through the first levels. And right now, again, I have all the upgrades, so it's going to be a lot easier for me than somebody who is new. But I'm going to go ahead and skip. So this is a skip button. I could reset the shop here, but apparently on round 1 you can't reset the shop. You only get a choice of 3 things. You see the tower's not in there, and I only have 4 coins. Well, that can buy anything here, but I want to buy things that are 5 coins. So I'm going to skip that, and then I'm going to go ahead and start. By the way, you can look around. Technically, you can move your head too to just look at stuff, but I like to use the arrows to look around. I'm going to go ahead and start this and then place these reinforcements in the front. Reinforcements are just melee troops. At the first upgrade, they don't have shields, but I've made it so they have shields and they're just powerful. So they can demolish the archers, which is why I placed them there. And by the way, it does show like what's going to come out next. So this is a necromancer. Kind of looks like a ghost, but summons skeletons, and that is also new, was not in the beta. I think it's a pretty cool addition. You can see 5 coin tower here. This is what I'm going to want to use, and it's kind of perfect for this map too, because it can basically see everything. You can see there's 3 spawn points. It only spawned from here so far, but they're going to spawn over there and going to spawn over here. So this placement right there kind of covers the whole area. Catapult's really good for swarm troops. You'll see when the necromancer spawns stuff, things start to swarm. But I'll let that play out. The catapult might kill the necromancer before it even gets the chance to spawn something, but we'll see. I won't use my abilities. If I do, I could use both of my abilities and just like, oh, there we go. So you see the skeletons. And my tower, it got hurt, but it was also helping. It was shooting arrows, which is an upgrade that not everybody has right away. You can see wolves now. That's also a new thing in this release. In this build, they're pretty cool. They just go straight. Oh, actually, it looks like it's going straight to the tower. You know, I thought that they go, I guess because it's the towers in the path of the, or I guess the buildings, the village is in the path of the king tower. It just goes straight to this, but usually I see the wolves will just ignore these 2 towers and go straight to the final thing. By the way, you can have 2 of these die, but if one of them dies, you lose 1 star, and the stars get you upgrades. So yeah, you generally don't want to lose any of these, and then if you lose the king, you lose the whole thing, which I don't think I've lost the king before. I usually just quit if I lose 1. I'll just restart the round because I want all those stars. I'm kind of a perfectionist like that. But yeah, I can't buy this. Oh, I don't want that. I can't buy the farm here, which for some reason it's not letting me choose. Oh, you can't even like grab it when it's gray apparently. But yeah, so I want the farm where it gives 1 coin per round, and the earlier you get the farms, the better they're going to be, or better returns you can get, because this won't pay off until another 5 rounds, and then the 6th round it will be worth it. So round 9, that's when it's worth it. And you can see how like when it was 4 gold coins, it was even better. I would have almost been able to buy it here. You can see I also have a free re-roll, which is also an upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and use it just because I can. That wasn't working in the beta. It's nice that it's now working. And I mean, there was nothing I was going to buy because I only really buy 5 coin things anyway, but I was just kind of showing the feature there. I also love this little chest. It's kind of cute, very cute. But I'm going to go ahead and start this wolves. I don't think I can defend the wolves with just the catapult, so I'm going to use my reinforcements. So the reinforcements, when you place them down, they just go wherever, so they have a really long range, I guess. I mean, it's not a range, but I guess targeting, I don't know the term for it, but for example, there's knights in the game too that kind of look like this, but the knights you place in one spot and they'll only go after enemies if they're like one box away from them, whereas the reinforcements, they'll kind of go across the whole entire map. So whatever they generally see, if you place them here and something spawns over here, it'll run over there. You can't control the reinforcements, whereas you can control the other things. I'm gonna go ahead and put this farm down, be very boring and farmy. And I think, how did they even get up here? I guess they like go around that is so weird. But I don't expect them to come up here, so I'm gonna just put it right in the back here. There can be flying troops, so the flying troops can shoot down, so I don't want to put it right there, even though the ground troops can't make it up here. Those flying troops could do that. And also, when you place it, you can actually move it. That's also a fairly new feature. But yeah, I guess this thing over here is just there. Like, there's no steps up here. That's weird. I guess it's just there to be killed by birds, which you'll see later. There's ravens. Those are the only flying troops in the game, as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, more wolves. I should be fine with reinforcements. I can generally last until, I think, round like 6 or 7 without any towers, really. I mean, I have 1 tower, but if I just did 2 farms, I would probably be okay. And often I do try to get as many farms as possible. Before they made it 5 coins, I was able to get 4 or 5 farms, and that would just get me like unlimited coins. But now I get, I think, up to 3 sometimes, but usually only 1. But yeah, so I only have 3 gold coins still, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this next round again. And you can see I can put these reinforcements in the middle there again, and it will just see those guys way over there and go, well, it first sees those guys because they're closer, and that was good because those guys explode, and if they were to run by everything and explode that, I would lose, so didn't want that. But here we go, got another farm, and we need 6 rounds to make it worth it. We do have 6 rounds to get to round 12, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I think here is probably the ideal spot. So there we go, and yeah, everything else I should be able to handle still with the reinforcements. I still haven't used this meteor yet, which I don't really need to. I think there's 3 waves of enemies here, so I'm gonna wait. Well, here. See, okay, he killed it. I'll go ahead and use it here. I think this is the last wave. Oh, okay, well, just 1 guy. You can see that's a little excessive, but just to show it off. The meteors usually won't scatter across the map. That's an upgrade. Usually they just hit 1 thing, and I think it's like 1 blast. But the meteors kind of act like the catapult does, except the meteors actually kill air troops too. Catapult does not. I'm going to go ahead and use the knight. Oh, I have a free reroll too. I kind of want to use that, but that's also risky if I don't get a 5 gold troop. I think they might have made it so that once you get to a certain round, you always get a 5 gold card here, maybe? I don't know. That would be cool. I like that, if so. But yeah, I don't want to use. I do want archers instead of knight, but or like they're good archers. I think they're called rangers, but I'm gonna use the knight because it's 5, and 5s are generally good anyway. And I'm gonna put them over here. You can move them whenever you want. You can move them mid-round if you want, but I'm gonna keep them there and go ahead and start this round up. Well, do I want them there? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, I'm gonna place these guys right there. They're gonna have trouble squeezing through everything, but it's okay. The catapult kind of just destroys everything right off the bat. Yep, there you go, catapult. Good job. I do like the graphics. The way this game performs, it's just cute. Like, it's not amazing graphics, but it's good enough to look cool. There comes more. I might be worth it here. Little fireball. I'll do it. Because, yeah, these guys don't have a very big path to get. Also, oh man, maybe I should have put them over there. Here. Move these guys right here. Just in case. The catapult should be able to finish them off for the most part. And you can see a couple of the guys are stuck over there. If I really cared, I think we're totally fine. But if I really cared, I'd just move the flag over here and then move them here and then move them here. But it's okay. They can be glitched out there. And I think at the end of the round, they'll probably be fine. No, they won't. Okay, well, put them over here. Okay, yeah, I guess that works too. But you can see we got a bunch of wolves. These are knights, basically. I think they're similar to these guys. In that they can block stuff, don't do a ton of damage, but they are pretty strong. I can't buy anything else. There's no 4 gold card. It would be kind of nice if there was a 4 gold card, because I think that just doesn't happen anymore, but whatever. I'll go ahead and skip that. Keep saving up. Round 8. So we're almost at the end, and we only have 2 useful towers. But at the end, I should be able to buy all the 5 gold cards because I had the farms. And yeah, I should be totally fine here. Go ahead and put these guys and watch them kill the wolves. So the wolves generally don't have much health. They just sprint. They're very fast. And they do a decent amount of damage. They can generally, like the archers, I haven't used any archers, but the archers get killed pretty quickly. You really do need defense for them. Okay, here we go. Nice, doing a good job. And that is it. Also, you can see these guys were taking damage during the round, and they healed at the end. If they died, 3 of them would come back per round, I think. Maybe I have an upgrade that changes that. I don't remember exactly. Okay, cool. So we got rangers, elite ranged units. Those are the guys. Probably my favorite card, or the best card. Actually, my favorite card is probably the catapult. It's just so satisfying when it knocks out those big hordes of troops. I'm going to put... Yeah, I'll just put the reinforcements in the middle because they're coming from both sides. I would usually just put reinforcements on the archers, but because I have a catapult, it just demolishes them, as you can see. It would be kind of cool if it started the next round, or like the next wave, right after you killed the last wave, just so you don't have to wait so long. But I guess it kind of makes sense. You can prepare for that next wave in case you need to change locations where these guys are. If I didn't have as many upgrades and this was a lot harder for me, I probably would be trying to use these guys a little bit better. I would like put them close to the enemies. Uh-oh, are we good here? Yes, okay, knock them all out. Yeah, if we weren't good there, I would have fireballed or meteored. I think, yeah, the catapult is just so strong, especially for these kind of rounds. Nice, okay. So, now we've got another catapult tower like that, so I'm going to put that, I guess I'll just put it at the top here. Do I want it where the archers are? I might want it where the archers are. Let's see. So this generally covers everything. That doesn't cover quite as much. Yeah, I'm going to put it right here. And the archers I can move around if I need to. This time they should probably be over here. Well, actually, is this a decent location? How much range you got there? Yeah, this is basically the whole map. And you would think the towers would block their arrows, but I think their arrows just go straight through the towers and the trees and like other things. So the game doesn't totally make sense. Not all the physics and everything, but it's still very cool. I'll just place these reinforcements. No, I won't. I'm gonna wait and see, because you don't technically need to put all the reinforcements down all the time. I'll just save those up, because I got so many oh, never mind. I'm gonna do it. I don't want those knights to get hurt too much. Ooh, they did get hurt a decent amount. Okay. Oh. Whoa. We're gonna kill these guys because they're getting close. Oh. And I just moved. I pressed the arrow by accident. So that was a little rougher than expected. It didn't even get to full health, this tower over here. So I should be putting these guys over here, probably. It does make it kind of tough when things are so close. I could put a wall here. This is a good use for the wall. I usually don't use walls. That guy was glitching out, so I moved him. But yeah, I usually don't use walls, but it would be helpful to have them go all the way around here. Or if I put the wall here, they'd probably have to go all the way around there. That would be pretty awesome. I don't know. Should I try that? Wave 11. Nah, we're okay. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so also they didn't make it so that you always have a 5-coin troop, because I just made it. I just refreshed and there wasn't a 5-coin troop, but now there is. I got Ranger, and I'm gonna place that Ranger right here. Well, no, we kind of need a close. Yeah, we need them here. The guys all the way over there don't matter quite as much, and I can just put the reinforcements down. So, oh, does that hurt them? Yeah, so they can block archers really well. You can see there's a bunch of arrows on their shield. But, yeah. There we go. Easy kills. And, ooh, good. Not even getting close. Kind of close. Again, the wall there would be magnificent, but I am not doing it. And the wall does have health. I think it shows on the card that it has a certain amount of health, but I haven't seen them knock down the wall, so I don't think it's possible to knock down the wall. I think it's just like the troops have to go around it, or maybe if they need to knock down the wall, like here, actually I'm gonna put these guys here just to clean up a little bit. Ooh, the wolves are coming. Nah, we're good. But yeah, if I put walls like all the way around the spawn, I'm guessing they would knock it down so that they could go around the walls or go through the walls. But here, wave 12, do I want a wall? I might as well get a wall. Yeah, we'll test this out and see how it works. There's only 6 birds. So I guess this first world doesn't have a ton of birds. Birds get kind of annoying, but again, that's a really good reason for rangers and archers, but rangers are the best archers. They have more range and more damage and I think more accurate, something like that. But I'm gonna put these guys back over here and then block off this path right there. See how that works. And yeah, it's a cute little wall. And it's not just a wall, it's more like a barricade because it's all the way around, but it's walls, many walls. We should be fine with the archers over here. Only 6 of these guys. We got 9 of these guys, and they have longer range than the ravens. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I don't even need them to shoot. I could just fireball them all, but no need. We'll let them kill them. And what next? Okay, so yeah, I did have enough, so I spent on the wall last round. Now, because I have 2 farms, I was able to get enough for a knight this round. I don't really want a knight. I would rather have more rangers or catapults, but I'm not going to risk it because I only have 1 reroll. Oh! Almost accidentally did it. Okay, so go ahead and put this down. Probably right here is good because I don't think they can get around. Also, oh, okay, so wave 13 now with the boss on that last level of the worlds. You don't see any spawn points because there aren't any spawns. There's only a boss. The boss has different abilities. It can spawn, it can shoot fireballs, it can do a little blast thing. I think those are the only 3 things it has, but it might have other things that I'm not aware of at the moment. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the thing. Honestly, the wall is basically useless, especially for this round, because the boss just kind of teleports around places. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's kill this boss. So for the boss, I kind of just place my troop on top of him, fireball on top of him, and then I move all the troops. This is actually going to be very tedious because the troops, they have to go right next to the guy, but because they have to move so far, it's kind of a hassle. Oh, yeah, not worth it, not worth it. Go back, go back. Also, I'm getting a decent amount of lag here, but oh, well, wait, go away. So he's doing his little explosion thing there. There he goes, and then we're gonna attack him. So, go all the way over there. He's getting kind of demolished. Yeah, There's light work. Oh, there's his little fireball move. We'll wait to see him do that. Oh no, he couldn't do that. But you could see there were little X's on the bottom that you have to move your troops out of the way. But yeah, maybe I should have done my current world that I was in, so there was more of a challenge, but that's okay. This kind of just showed and made sure I didn't lose, so I could show everything in one round for one level. But yeah, there you go. You get the little music. You got the king's crown, or the boss's crown, which you can't pick up for some reason. I'd like to pick this up. I mean, you can't pick up other things, just your flags. But yeah, that's that. Got the three-star victory, and you can take screenshots after to show off your stuff. I used to do that with all of the farms, but now I can't have unlimited farms. Well, it was never unlimited, but you get the idea. So continued there. There I am. There's the leaderboard. It's cool stuff. There's the developer, pretty active stuff, and I think you don't pop up on the leaderboard in this version until you like log in. So there's people who did the beta, got a bunch of stars, and they're not on this leaderboard. I think Silver Tongue Devil, who makes a lot of VR videos, he's awesome. I think he got first place in the beta, and yeah, so he basically grinded. I think he had like 150 stars or something by the end. So if he popped in here in this build, then he would automatically be at the top of the leaderboard. So that's pretty cool stuff. But I do love how they have leaderboards. I would like if there were individual leaderboards for each world or level. I don't think that's possible if everything's randomly generated. But the stuff that isn't randomly generated, if that's a thing, that would be really cool to have individual leaderboards for. But again, yeah, having these leaderboards is very cool. And I generally just love this game. It's a chill, fun game to play. In whatever downtime you have, it takes, I don't know, what was that, like maybe 20 minutes to finish a level. And that was a harder level. If you did level 1, it would probably be like 10 to 15 minutes. So it's just like little bite-sized sessions you can play. Put your headset on, you don't need controllers, you just get your hands out and you do all the things. And it would be nice to have controllers sometimes for people who really love controllers, but this game, it doesn't matter too much because you don't need to be super precise with your things, with your hands, with your placements. The only thing is, like when you're putting meteors down, if you accidentally put it in the wrong spot, that could suck, but you can generally like know where the right placement is. The squares are big enough that it's hard to mess up. Unlike Airspace Defender, you do have to be really precise in that game, so controllers would be even nicer there. But here, it's kind of just the perfect game for mixed reality hand tracking. I highly recommend it. I think it'll be about $10 when it fully releases, so definitely worth the cost, especially if they decide to continue updating it, which I'm almost certain that they will. With Airspace Defender's release, they updated it multiple times. They do have a third game as well that I think was like their more original game, and it was more VR, not mixed reality. But after they made Airspace Defender, they found this like really cool formula of like you just have this dome, you can put it somewhere, and then you play the little bite-sized games. And then once they make it so that hopefully on Quest headsets you'll be able to have multiple 3D games open at once, then you can, like, for example, play this game in Dungeons of Eternity, which is basically my favorite VR game, and obviously the one that I make a ton of videos on. But yeah, you could like put this in the game and maybe even share your game with people, kind of like a little multiplayer within multiplayer game. Not sure exactly how all that would work. Maybe a system level thing at some point. I don't think that should be completely on developers to develop and design, but I'm sure it could be possible, and someday it will probably be here. But for the time being, these games are amazing. Keep at it, not suspicious. I love what you guys are doing, and yeah, that is it for my overview review thing video. Hope you enjoyed, and catch you next time. Peace out.